Hello everybody. And first of all, I'd like to apologize. Usually I make a video during the week, but with the utility that I work for, they said we couldn't work today. We only work Monday through Thursday, and so that meant 10-hour days. I would drive an hour to work 10 hours, plus lunch, I'm there 10.5 hours, then an hour drive home, and I just didn't have time to mess with making a video. But now it's the Christmas weekend, and I thought I'd make a video on my Guppies and Endlers. This first tank is my breeding project tank. These fish, the original stocking, were Guppy Endler hybrids. And now we're getting into next generation. Let's see, where is he at? I was just looking at him earlier. One of the new generations, right there. He is one of the new generations starting to color up. That is a pretty sweet looking fish, I think, anyway. It's kind of got blue and red, light blue. There may even be a hint of yellow in his tail. That's a cool looking fish. Anyway, the original batch only had 2 females, and all the rest were males. Now it looks like all the new younger ones are mostly females, so that's good. There's still some males, like this guy right there is going to be a male, I believe. But if you're new, here are some, just to look at some of the fish that are in here. That's one of the females. That's a blue tail. I like that female. Now some of the new females look like they just might be plain colored, like an Endler female. Like, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I can't find it, but there's definitely some females in here that are starting to become mature and have no color. But that's to be expected, I suppose. There's another one of the original females. That's a big one. She's got some yellow on her. Look at this guy right here. I like him a lot. Get some different colorations going. I'm gonna start mixing Guppies and Endlers. I really do enjoy this tank quite a bit. This is one of my favorites of all the ones I have. I really do enjoy this. Looking at all the... There's a new male color now. Eventually, I'm going to line breed some of these out. Some of these color varieties, these certain genes. That'll happen when the tank space is available. Alright, now we'll move on to another tank. This is my 75-gallon that everyone seems to love, and I love it. It's my favorite tank. It is a colony of rainbow tiger endlers, the ones that Lucas Brett's, I guess, created. That's what you want to call it. Anyway, they're his fish. Back in March, I bought the colony that he sells of them. And now, as you can see, I have lots and lots and lots. I also have fire red shrimp in here. But I want to talk about the fish. These guys are pretty nice. Here's some babies. A lot of times the babies will hang out up in the tall plants. Speaking of tall plants, I'm going to have to trim these hygrophila. Since I switched and started putting a bunch of hygrophila in here, they're going to need... I put them in there about... they're probably about that tall when I first planted them. Maybe. And now they're all the way up to the top. Maybe a month. I don't know. But as you can see, these fish are pretty cool looking. Like some of them are like perfect tigers, some of them are like leopard looking. Like there's a leopard looking one. And the dogs, hey girls, they decide to want to go out when I'm making a video. That one is Ava, and she is half Australian Shepherd, half Border Collie. So she's smart and rotten all at the same time. Ain't you, girl? And Zoe's my baby. Zoe's my baby. And Ava needs attention too, right? Ava's a good girl. Yeah. Well, they always want to know why I'm sitting on the floor. Zoe chews herself raw. She's got some kind of allergy thing going on. Alright, girls. I gotta get back to talking about fish. Alright. Just taking a look. At all the rainbow tiger endlers. If you look at it from this angle, you can see just how many are in there. Okay, we'll go on to the next tank. And this tank, it's got a little bit of algae growing on it, is my coal tank. And the leftovers of my breeding project. Just because they're coals by no means means that they're ugly. They just don't, or unhealthy. They just don't fit. into that particular line. This one is really catching my attention. Well, where'd it go? There it is, right there. It's almost like orange. That one is a very unique fish. So these are my guppy culls. There's some Endler blood in there. Just everything all breeds together and has fun. Very entertaining tank. And then they're left to breed and do whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens. The water wisteria. This thing's starting to look pretty nice. I usually just let it be an overgrown mess, but then I put some moss and some water wisteria and trimmed it up, trying to make it look nice. This side over here needs a trim. But this side over here is starting to grow around the rocks like I was wanting it to. All my little this one is different. Let's see. Yeah. There's a nice one. There. I like that one. So there's mosaic, guppy genes, Endler genes, and grass guppy genes. All intertwined and mixed in together. And to be honest, I'll admit to it, I was looking at tanks, because this tank is going to need what I got going on here is going to need a much bigger tank than a 20 long. And I was looking at 180 or 240 would be awesome. But let's be honest, I don't think I can spend like $1,800 to $2,600 on a tank. So I've been looking at, if I get a big tank, I want to get acrylic. I don't want anything bigger than a 75 glass wise, because let me tell you, moving a 75 by yourself is not a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to stick with acrylic. Now there's been a couple different tanks that realistically, looking in the $800, $900 range for acrylic tanks. Keep it under $1,000, I might be able to get by at that. We're looking at, for some reason, one in Pentagon, we're looking at a 100-gallon corner tank. I think those kind of have my interest. But more than likely, I'll just go with the 125s. I think the ones that are, I think they're 72 by 18 by 20 or 18 by 18. Something like that. I apologize, I don't know the exact, but the long, short one. But I think the 100-gallon corner tank I was looking at was 36 by 36 by 20, maybe. That might sound right. I'm not sure. I want to do a big, nice tank with these inhabitants. With all the mixed genes. And all my coals I keep pulling out, but I mean healthy coals, not deformed or anything like that, but just displaying the wrong colors. Those kind of coals. Let's see that. There's a nice one. Love these fish. Love this tank. But yeah, I've gone on and on about this. That's it. He's just starting to color up right there. He's interested with them. Very interesting. Okay. We'll move on to the next guppy setup. This is my stock tank. 110 gallons of big-eared red mosaic guppies. I have my DIY sponge filters. And I have my pond intake pre-filter. Goes to the pump, goes to the 5-gallon bucket full of rocks and sand for biological filtration. And a lot of the guppies like to hang out inside the bucket at the top there. Let's see if I can get some good shots of these guys. These guys are actually nice to look at from above. That looks like a nice looking one. And I started my plant farm in here as well. Hygrophillia affluenus, which is what wisteria. We got giant hygro. I'm going to call it, I think it's the temple plant. There's so many. When I bought it, it was just labeled as the Hygrophillia corymbosa, but there's so many different varieties. I'm not real sure. Now this, I'm certain, is the hygro, or the giant hygro variety. I have a bunch of that growing in my 75-gallon with the cherry grass guppies. I have lots of that in there. So we got some going in here. A plant farm. My floodlight, 150 watt, has 3 50 watt LED bulbs in it. And then down there at the bottom you can see moss I planted down on the substrate, and I'm trying to propagate my moss to share with other people, because that moss is pretty good moss. It's a pyro moss. It's really rare and hard to get. Got growing all along the edges, all the way down around there. So there's quite a bit of it in here. Once that gets going, I'll be able to share some with people. And these people who sell moss, 1x1 steel mesh, trying to sell 20, 15, 20 bucks, get out of here. I'll probably sell a handful of it for 10 bucks or something. And a handful you'll be able, if you spread it out real thin, it'll take over an entire tank. All you need is one strand here I put two or three strands together, plop them in the substrate. So if there's one in like every half inch or so, you'll have a dense, thick carpet in 2 or 3 months. It's really good stuff. There's a lot of fish in here. I don't know if they're showing up real good on here, but I'm really starting to enjoy this. Now that I got it planted and got a good light on it and grow stuff in it, I'm starting to enjoy this stock tank a lot more. I'm thinking about scrapping the pond pre-filter and just hooking up a sponge on the pump intake so that I can have stuff planted there. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. You see all my red mosaics. We have one more tank to look at. And this is, I still have my python in here. I'm slacking, didn't put it up on water changes. Today's water change day. I need to do some trimming on this tank. The giant hydro has completely gone crazy. I still have some water sprite in here somewhere. Some guppy grass. But this tank is gone. The whole planted part is gone too wild. Look at all them roots. Well, that may not be the best thing to look at right now, but as far as being a guppy, to the bee's knees, I think. I'm sure this is a guppy paradise right here. This is the cherry grass. Some people call them red grass. And just how the genetics work. They do throw some blue ones that I try to call out. And then we have some that look like, where are they at? There's one right there. I try to call those out. They throw them. There's another one. I call those out. It's about time for another colon in here. There's duckweeds taking over this tank. This is one of them things where I'm working on the stock tank a whole bunch, working on the shrimp room. And this tank's all the way on the other side of the house. In the living room, all the other stuff's in the family room. And sometimes, I mean, they always get cared for, they always get fed, they always get the water changes, but the plant aspect of it sometimes gets neglected, I think. And they always get fertilized, they always get fed, they always get water changed. But then, of course, the goal of this tank is to be an overgrown wild forest with hundreds of guppies in it, and that's what I've accomplished. Ooh, here's a great big mama. She's just getting chased. Pretty guppies. Pretty guppies. There's so many of them in here. Water is kind of stirred up. I ended up just taking off my intake filter, my intake sponge filters. Because in this tank, there's so many of them in here now that it gets clogged up pretty quick. In fact, if you like these fish and you're interested in owning some, I'd probably be willing to let them go for a hell of a deal, because this tank needs a little bit of thinning out. There's lots and lots and lots and lots in here. Maybe you're in a pet store, You want a whole bunch of them, I can sell them wholesale levels too. If you want just a couple pair, the more you buy, the better deal you get. So I don't want to thin them out too much, but I like to sell about half of them. But it's not the point of this video, but anyway. This, and again, this is a 75-gallon tank. Let's see here. There's a coal. There's a coal. We'll be going in the coal tank. Most of these are pretty good. There's a couple coals over here I saved. This one's looking pretty solid. I fished out a lot of blues the last time I called, and there's not a whole lot of them left. That one is nice. That is a nice looking coal. Looks like a red mosaic. It's even got the big ears. I wonder if someone hitched a ride as a newborn fry on the python somehow. Because right after I do the Right after I do the 110-gallon stock tank with the red mosaics, I come to here. And I put a filter basket to keep from sucking up snails and whatnot, and baby fish. They're not snails, but shrimp. The shrimp are stupid. They get sucked right up in there. And you can see the duckweed, salvia minima. Yeah, that stuff looks cool. Pain in the ass to deal with. Aqua clear. Get kind of ripe. Got a sponge filter stuffed in there. Extra media. If you want to know what duckweed looks like, here you go. Giant hydro coming up the top that the cat bites the top of, so bites the top off of. Goes up out of the water, the cat eats it. We got two cats around here. There's another one that bit off. Cat likes to chill up here. And anything that sticks its head above the water gets ate. This is the Aqua Clear 110 right here. And this is the biggest Acuon filter. I don't even know what they're called. Not a filter I would ever personally own, but when I bought this tank, I bought it used off my buddy. Include the filters. It's a good old filter. It runs real good, moves tons of water, but it's loud, rattly. Just use it to move water. Here's another view. Okay. All that mold is stuff I need to clean out eventually. It is dead duckweed. Got the filter flows down underwater and kills it. And it sinks to the bottom. And that's the mess I gotta end up dealing with. But anyway, I've gone on a bit too much. So thanks for checking out my video. Make sure you like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.